Hi guys, it's time to start my fall sewing project, starting with my patchwork dress. I outlined this in my fall sewing plans video if you haven't seen that. And the first step is to open my mystery box of fabric from Conscious Clothing and see what we're working with. So let's crack it open together. I'm a little bit nervous. All right, let's see what we've got. The reason I'm doing this on the floor is because my tripod is broken, so you're gonna get a lot of top-down shots from me in this video. Ooh, this is so fun. Stunning blues. Got some blacks. I don't wear a lot of black, but I think I could work with it. I love this cobalt blue and this green. Fun. We have some denim. Don't really know what this is. Probably won't use this. It's like some cotton, like terry cloth. Ooh, that's a fun color. Ooh, I would probably never buy this, but it will look good with everything else. Oh, the tiniest little scrap, but it's so cute. Okay, this is really cool. Love that. More of this blue, yay. Oh, we have some cotton gauze. It's kind of a random. Pretty. Ooh, fun, fun. As I understand it, these are scraps from the clothing that they make. These are leftovers from their clothing patterns, which is such a cool way to utilize scraps. Wow, there's so much in here. I really was not expecting this much. Ooh, yeah, we're getting into some big pieces. Goodness. Ooh, nice. Beautiful. This purple color. Oh my gosh. How fun. So fun. Okay, this is awesome. This is a lot of fabric. It will be a lot of patchworking. I think Sydney Graham's tutorial, she works with a lot of bigger pieces, but I'm going to have to patchwork a lot of smaller pieces together to make this pattern come together. This over here is like the terry cloth pile, which I will not be using for this project. And then I'm wondering, I should probably pick specific colors that look good together because I don't think they would all look great together. So that is my next step, is to see what looks best together and if I have to fill any gaps with my personal scrap collection. So that'll take a little bit of time to map out. Okay, I just spent the last 45 minutes cutting all of these like perfect squares out, and these are the scraps. These are the pieces I haven't used yet. I just don't know if I want to use the black. I can't lie, I'm a little nervous about it. It's just a lot of like small scraps, and I don't know if I'm gonna have enough. It's a lot of work. What have I gotten myself into? But before I continue on with this project, I wanted to share another project that I've been working on with my sister, which is working on a graphic design for her coffee bar. I've been working in Procreate and sharpening my skills and trying to get better at putting what is in my brain onto paper. So I'm using Skillshare again, a little bit more on them. So one of the specific skills I want to sharpen is hand lettering in Procreate. It's very hard to make evenly spaced fonts written by hand. So I've been taking the class Hand Lettering in Procreate by Gia Graham on Skillshare. Skillshare is an online creative community that offers thousands of classes on creative subjects. This class has helped me polish my Procreate skills, my techniques for shading and creating consistently spaced fonts, and it helps me feel confident turning my sketches and again what's in my brain and getting it out onto an actual digital design. Skillshare has thousands of classes across a wide range of creative subjects like graphic design, but also photography, sketching, making stained glass, even classes on how to organize your life and workspace. The first 500 people to use my link in the description or scan this QR code will receive a 30-day free trial of Skillshare. So get started today. Moving back into the project, I have the pattern laid down and I'm going to rearrange the scraps on it to see if I have enough and what the layout needs to be in order to get the yardage required. Wish me luck. Okie dokie, I decided to start with the top just to build my confidence. And I have the back. That was like the tiniest little scrap I needed to add. And then the front. It's all kinds of patchwork, especially over here. But I'm loving all the colors together. It's feeling very fall. But I'm nervous about the skirt. I just don't know how to attack it. I feel like I could do a bunch of strips and then sew those together, but they would have to all be the same width. So maybe more cutting. I'm also thinking that I don't have enough fabric to make it a maxi, so I'm thinking about changing it to a mini. It also turns out that I don't have a lot of linen in my own scrap collection. So I do feel like I could make the bias binding for the top and finish the top. And then I could feel successful today before I start the skirt. Sometimes you just need a win, you know? All right, guys, this is what I have so far. All these like patchworked strips that I will then sew together lengthwise. And I'm so tired. And I'm not sure if all the colors like look good together, but I also don't have any more fabric. So this is what I have left, is this small pile of just a few patches, and most of them are the same color. I think I have to use the colors that I don't totally love, which is like this burgundy color and the teal, which I only have one of down here, so it looks super random, but it is in the top. So I feel like if it's in the top, it being in the skirt makes it feel more cohesive, even though they're the only two pieces. That's kind of what I get for just like going for it and not planning everything, but I didn't have the energy to do that. Oh my. I have been patching together all of the bias binding for the straps. It's a lot of little pieces because that's all I had left. So I don't know if it's going to look great, but I hope so. It was a lot of work. I really didn't want to use store-bought binding or like a different fabric than linen, so hopefully this works. All right, it's day 2 of this patchwork project. I always think in my mind that there's not a lot left to do, but I think there actually is. So I have to sew the patchwork panels, these ones, in the long strips together lengthwise. And then I have to work on the bias binding on the top to make the straps, then gather the skirt, attach it to the top. And that's just assuming that everything goes perfectly well. And we all know that sewing projects just don't do that, but I'm putting it out there. I'm hoping it won't take me all day. I think I should just jump right into it. Okay, obviously there are different lengths. I need them to be roughly this long. So I'm going to sew them all together and then cut the desired length. I think that should work. I think it's gonna look a little crazy at first with like all the different scrap lengths. It will probably look like a crazy dress from Project Runway, which I'm watching the current season and it's so wild. I love that show and I'm so glad they're back for another season. It's been hard for me to wait each week to watch it. They come out on Fridays and I just have not watched a show like that in so long where I have to wait for it to release. I don't watch TV like on weekends, so I usually watch it Monday. Today's Tuesday. I already watched it yesterday, so I'll probably listen to like a podcast today. Okay guys, here we go. Here comes the skirt. Now just 15 more to go. I've run into a problem. I was serging and then everything stopped and this tiny screw popped out and now nothing will move. Like it's totally jammed and I have no idea where the screw came from. Oh my gosh. It looks like crooked. Oh my gosh. Like it's the tiniest little screw in the world. I'm gonna fiddle with this and see what I can do. Okay. I did some surgery, opened this, nothing there. I think that the screw, I think it came out of the back of this, like right here. I think the screw holds this up here, so the screw's missing. I have the teeniest, tiniest screwdriver, and I think I can take this off. That is the tiniest screw. I can't even show you because my nails are too big. How am I supposed to get to this? Oh my gosh. This has been actually insane. These are the tiny screws, and I think I will take this opportunity to change out the needles. That might even be why everything kind of jammed up. They might have been dull. I feel like I might have just done that to myself. I even said that something had to go wrong. It's like I jinxed myself. Man, every time I'm doing anything on this machine, even when I'm rethreading it, I feel like I'm doing open heart surgery. It's so like complicated, and I need these tiny little tools. Oh my gosh. I get my pliers out and all my teeny tiny screwdrivers. It kind of drives me nuts, but I also really don't want to buy a new serger. Not until I really have to. Oh my gracious. Oh, jeez. Okay. Open heart surgery is a little dramatic. At the very least, it feels like I'm playing a game of Operation. All right. I hope that everything goes smoothly after this. This is the only bump in the road. I thought I might cry. I'm not gonna lie there. It was looking pretty grim. There was just a moment where I could not get the angle right. I kept dropping the tiny little screw and it would fly somewhere. But now we're back on track. Come on. All right. I'm gonna come back when this is all fixed. We're back. Picking up where I left off. Here is my progress so far and the panels I have left. All right, update. I have sewn the skirt in a full circle. And I'm setting that aside until I finish the top, and then I'm going to attach the skirt to see how long I want it to be. So I've started assembly on the top. The first step is the bias binding around the neckline. So I have this pinned and I'm going to sew it in place. I'm loving these colors together. Alrighty guys, well that is my patchwork project all done. I think the colors turned out really great together. It's feeling very fall. I think to make it even more fall, I could layer a cardigan over it or a long sleeve under it. That would be a fun way to style it. And then of course the boots make it feel a little bit warmer. And I love any excuse to wear these boots. Thanks so much for being here. If you love videos like this, I love to make sewing videos and thrift flips, so please subscribe to Mindful May if you haven't, and like this video. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.